Is it just cutting out though? Or is it actually on?
Hi, good evening. Welcome to the Select Board meeting for Monday, February 2nd, 2026 at 6 p.m. I'll read this statement first. In accordance with the requirements of open meeting law, please be advised that the meeting is being recorded and broadcast live by East Bridgewater Community Access Media, EBCAM. The meeting is available for viewing on EBCAM website at www.ebline. Dash.
Dash.
Dash. What's the side one?
That's a slash.
Slash. No slashes, just dashes. eb-cam.org, and will be uploaded to the EBCAM YouTube channel following the meeting. Let's start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of Allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America,
to the
republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All right, open forum. Guys here for open forum, or are you on the agenda, or are we going to be talking about it?
Open forum.
Okay, come on up.
What is that up front if I know?
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's not ratings week.
We're not sad.
So.
Hi, George Doucette, 85 Hayward Road, East Bridgewater.
Natalia Doucette, 85 Hayward Road, East Bridgewater.
So, I'm here tonight because in the ongoing debacle that is my neighborhood, which the DPW did an amazing job with plowing, even though there's no, I saw more plows during
Yeah.
that storm than I did in the 5 years I've been there. Kudos to the DPW on this one. I know on the hub, a couple of neighborhoods were belly aching, but oh my God, they were amazing.
Great.
So, and they've been back, so kudos to them for that. It's come to our oh, actually, I have something to share. The last time we were talking about this, I told you that my neighborhood used to be 25-foot lots.
Mm-hmm.
We have a map from 1923 showing the 25-foot lots. If you want to see it, you can. I have to keep it. 'cause
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
online, but holy smokes. I've got stuff. Apparently, in the ongoing situation, for background on what's going on in the neighborhood, that's the first one. This stuff is going to correspond with what I see.
Okay.
With what's going on in the neighborhood, almost a year ago, the Conservation Commission was made aware by an email that was sent to somebody at Conservation and Building regarding what was going on at 95. One of my friends saw that 95, my next door neighbor, Mr. Mitchell, had made a conservation meeting for the nefarious things he was doing out back, and we'll get to that in a moment. We heard that in April, March. We came in, we talked to Alex at Conservation, the building department, pretty much went upstairs, and everybody's dealing with it at that point. Kind of got an idea of what was going on. At that point, I talked to Mr. Franey, and that was a Tuesday morning at 10 a.m. And we mentioned that there was a stack of mattresses on a trailer outside attracting vermin, holding water, et cetera, et cetera. It's a health problem. At 7 o'clock the next morning, Mr. Mitchell's people were removing the mattresses from there, which means you got a phone call from Mr. Frady. I can't prove it, but the timing is just too coincidental. Having said that, that first piece of paper I gave you is it was supposed to last Monday, canceled due to weather, be a conservation hearing because Mr. Mitchell is now looking to build an ADU on the property. 11 feet from the back property line that's in question, in a wetland buffer zone. When you look at this, I talked to Alex, and Alex said, well, we have no reason that we can't give it to him. There's a precedent in town where people have built ADUs in wetland buffer zones, so we'll have to give it to him. And I said to Alex, you know, with everything that's gone on there, I mean, Mr. Mitchell started this whole ball rolling. He's the one that forwarded the letter to every department in town regarding, you know, my shed might be over the property line, et cetera, et cetera. So I ended up with the cease and desist that Mr. Seelig had the town's attorney forward out, and everybody's wildly aware of that whole thing. If you look at the document labeled page 1, page 2, that's a cease and desist. Oh, thank you. That's a cease and desist from the Conservation Board for Mr. Mitchell for doing things in the town land. And if you look at the pictures attached, pictures 2 and 3 show that in the fall he still had his motorcycle trailer in the town land. And yesterday he still has his motorcycle trailer and 2 dirt bikes in the town land. There's photographs there of him baiting deer. He has, you can see corn poured out there in the town conservation land. I just want to make certain I don't miss anything. Pictures 4 and 10 are from September and October of this year of Mr. Mitchell excavating in the wetland buffer where he wants to build the ADU. If you look at picture 5, that's Mr. Mitchell 2 summers ago digging in the town wetland conservation land, the pond that started this whole ball rolling with conservation. Although I don't have a picture of it, Alex does. He buried tires out there. There's a photograph of him burying tires on the town's land and conservation land. That's why DEP got involved. It's no secret that Mr. Franny and I have a terse relationship. This results from him doing what I believe were favors to Mr. Mitchell regarding the mattresses, et cetera, et cetera. And that was the letter that I forwarded to this board and the town administrator last year. Mr. Franny's aware that under the last run-in I had with Mr. Franny was after Mr. Mitchell got his variance, the zoning board of appeals wrote, and there's a copy of it there, that's going to be pages 4 and 5.
Mm-hmm.
That's the ruling from them, and in there it's highlighted that they made note that he built his garage without a permit and the addition without a permit. The original structure was supposed to be a garage with a family room above it, and he turned it into an apartment. And they were furious about that. So I attempted to have Mr. Franny contact the Office of Professional Licensure through EOPS because it's very specifically stated in what's pages 6 and 3 there. The law is very specific that if a licensed construction supervisor builds without a permit or does not have good moral character, that he yank the license. And Mr. Franny told me, well, it says I may do that, but I choose not to. And we had a conversation. I actually, if you look at the last document there, that's the last judgment against Mr. Mitchell's business for $70,000 for defrauding somebody, and they put a lien on his property about it. He's not in good moral character. He's dangerous to the neighborhood. Every bit of digging that's been done on that property has been done without calling DigSafe. We had a representative from the Commonwealth of Massachusetts out there over the summer when they were digging, the fall, knocking the cottage down. And we heard the conversation where they stated, we never call DigSafe. I mean, he's dangerous to the neighborhood. And when you look at this stuff, you know, I understand that, you know, he told Mr. Seelig it was his opinion that that shed might be over the property line. And that's what started this whole thing going. He never went across the hall to the Board of Health and got the one document that's on file in this building that shows that property line. It shows that shed within. And I think he just, out of spite or whatever against me, told you it's over the line, that's that, send a cease and desist. It's bordering on harassment. I mean, it's no secret that we don't like each other, the building inspector and I. I wanted to do his job. Those documents that I have there regarding the CMR on revoking his license were given to me after a conversation with a building inspector that I work with at my job, who cannot believe that he's not going after Mr. Mitchell's license. I don't know why he insists on letting Mr. Mitchell do thing after thing after thing after thing, but I'd like this board to direct conservation and building not to issue any permits or do anything till we at least know where the property line is and whether this guy can be held as reputable. I mean, he's dangerous. He, after the zoning board of appeals meeting, blocked my elderly neighbor Nancy in her driveway, would not let her leave, to berate her about being at that meeting. And it wasn't until she threatened to go in the house and get her husband that he finally took off and let her leave. He's a detriment to the neighborhood. He's a detriment to the community. That building license that he has should be yanked, and the building inspector won't do anything about it. And now he wants to build an ADU 10 feet or 11 feet off a property line that we don't know where it exists. And my fear is if conservation says, okay, it's not a wetland buffer thing, we can't stop you. Dot Simpson has already told me that if conservation gives them the okay, they have no option but to issue the permit. And we don't even know where the property line is. That's all I got.
Yeah.
Sorry to drop such a huge
No,
thing.
Nope. We're certainly aware of the ongoing situation, let's call it, down where you're at, having seen and heard from numerous residents in that area. My only problem right now, without getting some information, having Charlie get us some information, is where we stand or where we lie as a select board versus, you know, some of these other departments you're talking about. We can certainly have a conversation with Patrick Franey. That's not a problem. I work with Patrick quite a bit in different projects that we do. But in some of the other areas, as far as what the planning board decides, or zoning, or conservation, yeah, especially, those are, you know, areas where I'd have to get a little bit more knowledge on what what the responsibility is. I will say this, that anytime we do seem to have some conflicting stories and situations, I have never seen any one of those department heads not, you know, come to a meeting or come to the board and present their facts or their reasoning for whatever, you know, their determinations were on that stuff. So they are good at that. I applaud them for that. So I would think at this time, Charlie, if you wouldn't mind with some of the information that we've just taken in, quite a bit of it. Now, as you said, is this information that we can get copies of, or is this
You can
something?
have, you can have that.
Okay, you sure?
Yep.
We can take copies of, yeah. I mean, I think it would be, and I'll let Carol and Catherine speak in a second, but I think what would be the best is for us to, you know, take in the information that you just gave us, and then, you know, speak to Charlie through some of these departments to find out exactly what it is. I have some questions on, you know, this ADU process is really new, you know, and it's,
I understand.
you know, we've seen one that I know of. I've seen one on Plymouth Street that's, you know, actually been constructed, but I do know that DPW, as well as it's Conservation and Board of Health, I think Board of Health with the septic had some questions on, you know, how this process is, because it's so new. So we, you know, we could certainly get some background on some of that stuff as well.
All right. I mean,
I
it,
don't know that I have much to add. I mean, I'm not sure what we what we can, like, I hear what you're saying, like, you want us to tell them that they can't issue permits. I don't know if we have the ability to do that. Conservation is an elected group, just like we are. We don't necessarily have authority over other elected groups, but maybe a sit down with
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Patrick and Alex and try to figure out.
so, I mean, I just can't
What's
see how they
going on?
can issue a building permit that's gonna have something 10 or 11 feet off the property line that we're not really certain where it is.
I mean, the whole thing with ADUs, even though it's new, is that they still have to follow all of the planning and permitting
To some
process,
degree,
right?
there are some
I mean, I know there's some
areas that
things that are
change,
lifted,
yeah.
but.
The addition to the bylaw for it puts it at, rather than a 50-foot setback from a property line, it's at 10 feet.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. And there is room at the front of his property to do it. And the road being the front edge, uncontested, and the property line between us being uncontested, he could throw it up in that corner and it wouldn't even be a problem. That's not wetlands buffer. He just, again, wants to do what he wants to do. And like I said with those pictures, already started excavating in a wetland buffer zone without any permission. That's illegal. I mean, he just does thing after thing. I mean, one of the other, we were with the zoning board on the 5th of November, you can have this if you want it, but he'd been running his business out of there. More than one vehicle, et cetera. So he had 2 stake body trucks, he had 3 construction trailers, 2 pickup trucks, 1 lettered Liberty Construction. And in Mr. Franey's letter back to me, he specifically stated, on various occasions, I've seen a large stake body work truck, several personal vehicles, including a lettered pickup truck, several trailers, and miscellaneous construction material. I went in and highlighted all the stuff about R1 zoning when none of that's allowed. And Mr. Franny's like, no, he's allowed to run a business like that. If I tell him he can't, I have to tell everybody they can't break the rules. That's not what we do. If you're breaking the rules, if 200 people speed, 200 people get pulled over. If one person speeds, one gets pulled over, you know? And it's just ongoing that this guy seems to, for whatever reason, keep getting a pass. And, you know, if it wasn't for the cornering the neighbor and the elderly neighbor in the driveway and the digging without calling dig safe, I mean, that's blatantly dangerous. I mean, we've had houses locally to here explode when people hit gas lines. There was one in Situate 10 years ago. I was there for that. I would prefer to not have the house next to mine get decimated in a gas explosion.
Yeah, we don't want that either, for sure, right? Yeah. It's not something we're looking for, but like I said, I think what we've done in the past, we'll continue here. We'll certainly have the conversations, find out where the jurisdictions are.
I apologize for dropping such a bomb
No,
tonight.
no, that's why we're here. Yeah, we don't
I
mind.
just
We
don't
want to
have
help
any other
find
way.
solutions, we just need to
There's
know
no
what
other forum
our
to
solutions can be.
get with you folks other than
No, this is
here,
perfect. This
so-
is
What it's
doing
for.
That's
exactly
why
what
we
you're
have
supposed
open
to
forum.
do. Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
No apologies for that.
So again, I know it's a lot, and I apologize.
Yeah.
You have a copy of, that's a great map, my
Are
neighbor.
you sure we can keep this too? Like you don't?
Yeah, you go.
Okay.
It's
We'll
here,
keep-
it's
We'll have
public
it here
record.
anyway, so.
Yeah.
It's here as
It's
public
di-
record,
we have
so
a
we
digital
can.
copy.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, all right,
All
great.
right,
Great.
thank you.
All right, we'll
Thank you.
take a look at it and speak to Charlie and the other departments and see.
Thank
where
you,
we go.
stay warm.
Yeah, absolutely.
Heat wave today, 30.
Yeah, right? It was above freezing for the first
It's
time in
still,
what?
they did an amazing job, but
10
it still
days?
looks like I
Good to hear.
should zebra.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
Pass that along.
Usually
Thank
only
you,
hear the
appreciate
opposite.
I know, we don't
side.
usually hear when it
No,
goes
honestly,
well, right?
5 stars. I cannot say enough good about it.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you. Have a wonderful evening.
Thank you
Be
too.
safe.
All right, that led us perfectly into our appointment with left field.
Bring another chair.
Bring up chair, yeah, come on up. Thanks, Joe.
Come on,
Come on up.
you might as well sit.
Yeah,
There's room at the table for everyone, Kevin.
yep. Yeah, just for the
He's like, no.
record, if you each could just give us your name and
Sure.
we know you're from.
Alyssa Shatani, left field OPM for the town of East Bridgewater.
And Stephen Watchorn, architect from Raymond Design Associates.
Kevin Sullivan, Product Director, Left Field, OPM.
Great, so we're here to give you an update on the Central Elementary School project. Most recently, we have completed the construction manager at risk process. So that's a two-part process where we accept proposals from qualified firms. We do our due diligence to look through them, see their experience, their project team that they're proposing, their approach to the project, whether they're financially able to do the project, and we call references. So that's kind of the first step. Once we approve them to be able to submit a price proposal on the project, we send them a letter. There were 9 firms that ended up being pre-approved or pre-qualified to submit the price proposal. We did end up receiving all 9 proposals, and we shortlisted all 9 of them per Mass General Law to interview. So we most recently completed interviewing all 9 firms January 15th and 16th. We met with the pre-qualification subcommittee out of the building committee, and there were 3 members who scored from the town side, and then 1 from the OPM and 1 from the designer. So 5 in total. Reviewing the interviews, Kevin and I and Kate Byrne also sat through those interviews as well, all 9 of them, over 2 days. Fantastic job from all the firms. We were able to listen in and just get a lot of ideas for the project and see how different construction management firms approach the project. So ultimately, we had to rank them from 1 to 9 based on a scoring system. It was a mix of their technical proposal, which was, again, their approach to the project and who they are as a firm, and secondly, their price proposal. So that made up about 50%, and then the other 50% was the interviews. So the number 1 ranked firm ended up being Gilbane. So we're working with them out of the Boston office. So that was our recommendation to the overall building committee. That was January 21st, that recommendation was made. They voted and accepted. So we're coming to you to present that contract, but we also just wanted to talk a little bit about why we chose construction manager at risk, and then some of the early packages and work that's going to be upcoming in the next month or 2, which I'll have Steve from RDA speak a little bit about in terms of that upcoming work. So the committee decided to go construction manager at risk because it was going to be a very time-sensitive project where we were going to need to do a lot of early site packages, structural steel packages, and maybe some electrical and mechanical components that we need to order in advance, depending on lead times. But a construction manager at risk gives us ability to control that guaranteed maximum price. So it controls the budget a little bit more than a traditional project delivery, which would be design, bid, build, where you would just hand over a set of documents and specifications on bid day to a firm. and then start mobilizing in like a couple weeks. So bringing a construction manager at risk during the phase we are in now, which is design development, allows them to sit in all of our design meetings, give feedback, do cost estimating with us, any value management that has to be done throughout the process. So it's really an asset to bring them on earlier in the process in order for us to open the new school in September or technically August of 2028. So with working with them, we have a qualified firm. They've done a ton of elementary school projects. Left Field and RDA have both worked with them in the past, and they've never had a school open late. And they've always met the schedule on time, on budget. So that was very important for us and for the committee. And again, allowing us to control costs on the project and hopefully catch any of those change orders or design flaws as we're going through the process. So bringing them on to do those constructability reviews also allows them to utilize their experience. So I did want Steve to just touch a little bit on the work that's coming up. So tonight what we're preparing for you is the pre-construction package, which is $150,000 that we had in the feasibility budget. So this is not additional money that the town has to pay out. This is part of that $1.5 million feasibility budget. So that was the first contract. We will have other early release packages that will come up that we will issue amendments for. So those will be things that we will present to you in the future. But for now, we have a preloading package that RDA has been preparing, and that work is scheduled to begin either late February or early March. And that's about 6 to 8 weeks. So I'll let you talk a little bit about the preloading. You don't have to get too technical, but.
No, I'll just give you a high level, what's going on over, the next few weeks and the next year. So one thing with the CMR is we still are bound to filed sub-bid regulations, so.
CMR is not Commonwealth, Massachusetts regulations, it's construction manager.
Construction manager at risk. So we still have, we're able to work with the construction manager at risk, Gilbane, and we'll work with them almost immediately upon award on this early bid package. But we at RDA and Left Field are working with our subconsultants, preparing a full set of documents for the building, drawings and specifications that will be bid out to filed subbids. That's going to take us the complete year to get that completed. But in the meantime, we're able to work with the construction manager on some early bid packages. So we have planned 3 actual early bid packages. So the first one that Alyssa mentioned was the preloading of the site that will allow the contractor to hit the ground running with the foundations and the steel early next year. So you'll see work and activity going on at the site very shortly here, out at the site where the softball fields are. That's the first early site package. We have another one that we'll issue that will not be related to any of the filed sub-bid requirements, but foundation, structural steel, and slabs. That'll be coming out later this year, and then potentially probably early site package number 3 for site work. And all of these early packages are to allow us to expedite things quicker that are not contingent on those filed sub-bid requirements. So there's a lot of work and a lot of sequential activities happening. So.
Last month, we met with East Bridgewater Police and Fire and the DPW to talk about this work that's coming up because there will be increased traffic flow with trucks. We're also going to have an East Bridgewater police detail right on Central Street in order to just direct any traffic with the trucks coming in. So they have blackout times that they can't go onto the site during school pickup and drop off with the various campus, the 2 schools on the campus. So we're, being diligent about meeting with them, making sure that they're aware of the traffic routes and the times and the dates that all of this is going to be impacted. So we've been publicly talking about this type of work, but we'll continue to update the website and make sure that the community is also informed about this upcoming work.
Melissa, you mentioned police detail in Central. So in terms of the trucks coming in and out, how are they getting onto the site and how are they leaving?
I don't know if you can answer.
Well, the logistics will be determined by the construction manager, but we've laid out some parameters that in this document that's going out very shortly, based on review with the committee and also DPW and the police and fire about logistics, about how the turning radiuses of the trucks off of Route 18 coming northbound and then exiting and making a right, continuing northbound when they leave the site.
So it's going to be Bedford Street rather than Central.
Yeah, Bedford
Yes.
Street, yeah.
Yes, yep.
I just was confused by
No,
the
no,
Central. I said,
you're
are they
right.
coming-
Detail will be
coming-
on 18.
Yes,
Yeah.
okay, 18.
That's it?
That's it.
Okay. Questions?
Yeah.
Karen, any?
I mean, this is old
old hat,
news.
right.
It's exciting though, because, you know, we're at the point where we're gonna actually start seeing things happen. A lot of trucks coming in with a lot of dirt. And, you know, and it's good that you're here and getting, you know, this before the public, because, you know, once those trucks start coming, then people are gonna start asking questions and
Yep.
wondering what's going on, and so this is good to get out ahead of that.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, even before the trucks come on, you'll be seeing fencing going up,
Right.
Jersey barriers, a
Yep.
lot of site mobilization, even before the first truck worth
Yeah.
of soil comes.
Soon.
So, yeah, very soon.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't have any questions, no. No, thank you guys for presenting though.
Yeah.
Yeah. So mine would be just, back to Carol's point, really, it's just, I'm sure there'll be plenty of communication with these vehicles that will be coming off of Route 18. I mean, I heard crazy numbers, like 60, 90 some odd trucks of fill. Is that true? Is there
A
some-
day,
A day.
A
Yeah.
day,
A
right?
day.
2 months,
2 months straight.
maybe.
Wow.
6 weeks, maybe.
Right.
6 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay. Good luck.
Yeah, we're gonna, you know, we want to.
Can't wait for open forum.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah,
Right.
we want to make sure everyone has access to updates.
Yep.
And I'm sure there'll still be questions and concerns, but
Yep.
the project website will kind of outline what to expect from a timing perspective. I think that the
Right.
most important thing for us is minimize impact to the public,
Sure.
especially the safety of students.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think having on our side of things, we can coordinate with the police chief, but kind of have a traffic advisory. Maybe we have a sign put up about traffic advisory between a certain amount of dates,
Yeah, sure.
just with the amount of trucks coming up, just to forewarn people. I'm sure we'll see a picture of the sign of traffic advisory up on the hub somewhere, but it's better to cross our
Right.
T's and dot our I's than
That's
not.
Well, we may be able to get one of the portable DPW
Yeah.
LED signs down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be great. And just coordinating with the detail on it.
So my only other question would be from personal standpoint. I mean, so again, I'm back to these trucks. Like, so all these vehicles come in. So all that fill, I'm assuming has to settle, right? Is that what
Yeah.
the reason is? Okay. And then some of it going back out the other way is where
Yep.
it came in. Oh, no.
Some of
kidding.
it goes, some of it stays.
Yep, some of
Okay.
those days.
All right.
I
Well,
think that, you know, I think- I'm not a geotech guy, but.
No,
the
this is
projects-
above my pay grade.
Yeah, me
we had-
too, that's
We
why I
had
was-
consultants who have looked at this 100 different ways,
Really?
and this seems to be the safest path.
Okay.
To make sure our budget and our
Yep.
schedule is preserved.
right. Huh. All right.
I don't know.
Well, if somebody's looking for fill, we know where they can find it at some point, I would assume, right? Great. Appreciate you guys coming in. Appreciate you
Thank
sharing
you.
the news, and we look forward to seeing the progression of this project.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
We do need a vote from the board to
Yep.
approve the contract with Gilbane as construction manager at risk for the Central Elementary School project.
As stated?
As stated.
Second.
Motion's made and seconded. Any further discussion? Anything else? We all good? All in favor?
Aye.
That's it. Got what you need
Thank
from
you.
us? Yep.
Check off another box.
See you soon.
See you
Yep,
soon.
very soon.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
And I'll see them before you will.
Yes, you will. Yes, you will. All right. Seems as if we cleared the room. Nobody. is-
Wow, look at that.
Right. Usually
Well, we've got somebody
somebody,
coming in, it looks like.
Uh-oh.
somebody's coming in. Hey, it's
No.
Reading about East Bridgewater in the news, so.
yeah, you don't want to.
I need access. Does somebody have a key so we can get in the planning board office to get our stuff for tonight's meeting?
Oh, right, because nobody's here.
Right. All right, we'll let them take care of Roy over here. Good to see you, Roy.
See you, Roy?
Thank you. We're
Um,
talking soon, I'm sure.
yeah,
No.
absolutely. Sooner
No.
than later. Let's go to our action items.
Perfect. Approve the minutes for the January 12th, 2026 Board of Water Commissioners meeting.
Second.
Motion made second. Discussion? Discussion? Any discussion? Discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Approve the minutes of the January 12th, 2026 Select Boards meeting.
Second?
Motion made second. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Approve but not release the minutes of the January 12th, 2026 Select Boards Executive Session meetings.
Second?
Motion made and seconded. Discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Approve to waive interest and demand fees for 127 Village Road for water department bills.
Second?
Motion made and second. Charlie?
This is based on the board's conversation.
Yep.
During the last couple of meetings, one with the resident, and then also working with the DPW and the staff to determine what the board has done previously when situations like this arise.
Great. Well, I want to thank everyone that was involved to get that down and give her a bit of a relief there. So.
She had the baby, right? Was she the one with the baby?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. All in favor?
Aye.
Discussion to sign sustainable purchasing policy.
Second?
And this is an
Motion second.
update of the annual purchasing policy for, we try to buy sustainable, meaning that more of our items that we purchase have a higher recycling content, for instance, and such.
Okay. This has been.
This is from the DPW, from
Okay.
John and Lynn. They sent this over.
Yep. All right. Any questions or discussion on that? Seeing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Discuss and vote on proposed revisions to personnel policies, vehicle policy revisions, page.
Second?
Motion made second. Discussion?
We received so this is specifically, in the personnel
Yep.
policy, these two revisions, this one revision, the first revision is to be included in the vehicle policy. So it would state, if an employee is involved in a motor vehicle accident while on duty or otherwise performing work for the town, whether operating a private vehicle or a municipal vehicle, the employee shall notify the police department in which the accident occurred, so that the police officer from the department can respond and the incident can be properly documented. So that's the first revision. We received a message from the deputy chief requesting that that be added.
Okay.
When a personal vehicle is used by town employees for official use, the employee's personal automobile insurance shall serve as the primary insurance coverage before any municipal coverage applies. The town's insurance coverage shall apply only on an excess-based, does that make sense? On an
Yeah.
Like
it's
if it
above.
doesn't
Oh,
cover-
basis, okay, to the extent permitted by law.
Okay.
And then the third revision is just to add a revision page at the end of the personnel policy. We've been putting it on the footer of the first page, and it kind of is growing. So if we had a page to kind of put changes, because we will be reviewing the personnel policies periodically.
Okay. So my only question on that, having a little bit of knowledge about
Yes, please.
auto insurance, would be, so I'm assuming we'd have to let the employees know that they'd have to have a certain coverage on their own policy for this? I
We've
mean,
never required a minimum standard. We could.
Right, yeah.
I guess the question is going to be, is it going to be more than the mass minimum?
Right, that's, well, to match what Maya's gonna be looking for as well. I mean, I would think that they'd want a certain amount of coverage, because
And I understand what you're saying, but
Yeah.
then what you were saying to the employees is making it up, okay, you now are spending another $500 because we won't supply you with a vehicle.
yeah, I don't think you have to tell them to do it, but I think you certainly have to let them know what the circumstance. If they have 20/40 coverage on their policy and, the
But again, I mean, either we're saying to them, here's our recommendation of what you get,
Right.
or we're saying to them, if you're driving a personal vehicle on town business, you're required to have this level, and they'll say, well, I don't.
Well, if we
and I'm not
require
going
it,
to.
wouldn't we then have to pay for it for them?
I don't know,
mean,
that's
doesn't
what I'm
seem-
kind of getting to.
Yeah.
What would what would be?
Is this standard?
Yeah, well, it's standard that the.
This is how
that
other
the pri-
towns-
That the primary coverage is
Okay.
personal vehicle coverage. It's the same way that we dealt with it in Halifax.
Right.
And in fact, and that's Meyer's standard.
Yeah, because usually on a commercial policy, they would have hired and non-owned vehicles coverage. So it would be, somebody that works for a landscaper decides, go get some tools or something, jumps in their car and takes off. The policy for the commercial policy that the company owns would have that provision saying in their contract that, guess what? That car is covered if they go and do something for the business. So we're kind of going the opposite
Opposite,
way.
yes.
We're doing it differently. We're saying, yeah, there's no coverage for you unless it's above and beyond what your coverage on your car is going forward. So, yeah, I think we just got to make it clear to, I mean, again, I don't know how many employees this would affect, really. I
Can you
mean,
give us an example of who this would affect?
Me,
yeah.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
Charlie's like-
I drive to a manager's meeting.
Yeah, yeah.
okay.
I get in a car.
Well, it could be any of you, I would assume, right? I mean, that could be the same thing. But I mean,
We don't have any town vehicles,
right.
so like when Patrick goes out and does inspections, the health agent goes out, does inspections.
Yep.
We go to a conference,
Right.
so.
Yeah, I'm just thinking of outside of that, so if,
So when I do you ever drive anywhere for your job?
Sure, I mean, I go to meetings all the time.
Do you
Right.
have any policies like this?
I imagine we do, but it's never really, like, been brought to my attention.
Yeah,
Right.
I don't know if because I'm thinking about how much I drive for what we do, but I know the reps get a stipend for stuff, but I'm just trying to think what the process would be. So if you were to get into an accident, it basically, your insurance covers it, and then
If there's
if
an
it
excess.
doesn't,
yeah,
excess goes to the town.
Then Maya picks it up.
yes, above and beyond, exactly,
Okay.
yeah. Just had it happen recently for one of our, so underinsured, really, right? So it'd be the same kind of philosophy. So you get in an accident, you hit a telephone pole costs, it's your fault, it costs $10,000, but you only have $5,000 worth of
And the
coverage.
town
Yeah.
pays the rest.
Right, would have to, I would assume, right, pick up the difference of what.
But the state has minimums, right? Is it 2040?
Yeah.
Is that the?
Yeah, 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 that's what I'm saying,
gonna
that's
say
why I
there's
say
a
the
state
coverages could be
minimum.
minimal coverages if somebody, God forbid, there's a portion of the policy that
Right.
somebody gets hurt or something like that. I mean, there's a lot more, I think, involved in this. Again, it's, we're just,
Well, like the guy that hit Dale, that was
Yep.
hundreds of thousands of
could
dollars
be,
of
yeah.
coverage. And we never paid for it, and he didn't have that coverage, but his company still paid it.
right, yeah, they will.
But that's different. He wasn't working. He was just
Right.
joyriding.
Yeah, I mean, I think we just, so where did this come about? How did this come about?
Well, the second piece is, I don't, if there was an accident in East Bridgewater, we don't really know why Mike contacted us.
Oh, the first part?
Yeah.
Yeah, did somebody get
I
in an
don't-
accident?
I don't know.
So, but on this primary and secondary coverage, that's been that way already.
Okay.
Okay.
That
just
wasn't
gonna-
from the deputy
You're
chief,
just
that came
clarifying
from
it.
our annual meeting with Maya.
Oh, okay.
Saying, make sure you let the employees know.
Yeah, right.
This is what happens.
Okay.
Because that's the policy that we have, so, right, communicate that fact.
Yeah,
Put it in
Kinda like let them know before they find out
Yeah, I agree.
when
Yeah,
it actually happens.
right.
Okay.
Yeah, that may change some people's minds on using the vehicle. I'm just thinking like, some DPW, there's no truck in the yard, and there's somebody at the DPW decides to go.
Or
pick
right
up-
now, we don't have a surplus vehicle that the assessors used to use when they
Right.
were going out doing the assessment of various properties.
Yeah,
And if one of them goes out and does that right now, it's on them.
They'll have
right,
to use an Uber.
right, yeah, yeah.
But, I mean, the same
Yeah.
thing is true for Mike Soros, the Board of Health agent, as an example, or Alex doesn't, drives on his own personal
Yeah.
vehicle.
Right.
Yeah, it all falls in there.
I
just
mean, we
think-
all do
Just,
it.
yeah, just before, you know how these things work. They usually don't rear their ugly head until something goes completely wrong and south on it. So I think the conversation with those employees, like you guys just said, is certainly
Make them
a
aware.
smart move so that everybody's on the same page going forward. But that's it. That's all I got. All right. Any other discussion? Any questions?
No, so do you want to not approve it until that's clarified, or are you good with?
I guess we could. I mean, how soon are we trying to get this? Is this something that needs to be done like today, or is this
Well,
something we should have with?
The first part is, the second part, the thing is simply literally, we're not, how do I put this? All we can do is tell people that we're not going to get a change in the insurance policy.
Right.
So even if you didn't vote it on the personnel policy side, it still exists. It's
Yeah.
still the primary.
It's already yeah, it's
Yeah.
already being,
What we're simply doing is making sure it's in the personnel policy, and then Rebecca and Lee can make sure that information is transmitted to the
yeah.
employees.
I mean, again, I think we could probably approve it because it's, like I said, it's already a part of what the contract is already.
This is just
With the
making
expectation that
information.
you'll tell the
Yeah,
employees.
yeah. So when they come to us, we say, well, we told them, so.
Yeah,
Yeah, any updates on the personnel policies we send.
those go out to everybody.
Yeah,
Okay.
because they may have further questions, just when you're talking about somebody's personal,
I mean, I think it sounds scarier than it is. It's always been in place, like you said, but then when you
Right.
think about it, you're like, oh, well, what would,
What would the effect be if?
I'm thinking if that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, how much I drive all the time. I'm like,
Yeah,
this
you
is
better be a good driver, Captain.
Right.
like,
Yeah, I don't know what they were doing.
I don't
You
know.
should probably take a look at
no, I don't think I want to.
Okay, you don't. All right, yeah, we could go ahead and just taking steps to make sure everybody's understanding what the circumstances are. All in favor?
Hi.
Aye.
07 sounds like fun.
Yeah.
Discussion on grants that have been denied to the town due to the MBTA noncompliance.
Let's do it.
All right, Charlie.
So,
what-
well, I mean, I've heard from a number of departments before the request went out, and since then, basically, if the state can declare that a grant is discretionary, much of the time it's saying, if you're an MBTA community in the sense of you're in the 177 and you're not in compliance, sorry, you're not getting a grant.
Right.
So, I mean, that's everything from police and fire equipment to green communities to possible funding for crosswalks, recycling, as an example, cybersecurity, complete streets, bridges, and culverts, even a mini grant for $648 for the Council on Aging for Helping Hands. So we're losing out in a variety of ways. And, you know, there are going to be cases where we don't even apply because we know we're not going to be eligible. Now, that might change during this coming year, depending on when the grants are going to be awarded and when, if there's a change in our status
Yep.
at some point this year, making the community eligible again. But right and left, we're losing out.
Yep. Do we have just a ballpark figure that you could?
Well,
put your hands around?
this is where it gets, you know, do we include the grants we didn't even apply for?
I would think so.
Yeah.
I mean, then we're talking.
I think you should.
We're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Right.
I don't have an exact number because as an, you know, even, there was a Pond Street culvert
Yeah.
for the small bridge that's there. That might cost up to $1 million to do, as an example. We're not eligible to apply for funding for that.
Right.
So, I mean, it's big, it's little, it's medium grants, everything.
Okay. Yeah, unfortunately, that's certainly, and I think there's no secret that we've also been as named in a potential lawsuit with Attorney General's office, right?
Oh, yeah, we can talk about that in a minute, but I mean, Ryan, for instance, mentioned that community fiber, community compact IT, et cetera, he was looking at the possibility of not being able to apply for $500,000 for various types of IT grants. But yeah, you know, the board has received that lawsuit from the AG's office. We're one of 9 communities. There are 12 communities that are non-in-compliance right now, but 3 of them, the deadline was the end of December. And what the AG's office had decided was, since it had given those other 9 communities, we're being one of them, more than, I think, at least another 6 months of grace, in essence, to, you weren't in compliance by the middle of July, we're going to give you until January, and nothing changed, I believe, for those 9 communities, obviously, or they would be in compliance. They said, fine, we'll sue those 9. The other 3, we're going to give you a similar amount of time. I don't know that officially,
Right.
but in reading between the lines of the statements and such, that they haven't given them a date as they did with us. So the suit's filed. We'll need to respond with Clifford and Kenny and provide a response. We'll probably go in at some point to talk about that further,
Yep.
just to acknowledge that that's happened.
Right. So based on the suit, I would say the clock's already started on what we'll have to pay out as a community just on lawyer fees.
Legal
Right.
fees,
And,
absolutely.
you know, my hope is we'll, and again, we can talk about this, but there may be ways of keeping the cost down for a period of time.
Right. Yep, okay. We won't go into further discussion, let's just move the process along and we'll go from there. I don't think we need any motion on that, that was just an
No,
update, right,
no.
Charlie? All right, great.
Thank you.
Yep. All right, so that's it. Announcements. Lee, what do you got for me? Anything over there?
The 2026 annual street census has been mailed. Please return the completed form by mail or place it in the drop-off box outside the town hall. For more information, to contact the town clerk's office at 508-378-1606. And also, I believe it's Q3 taxes bills are due today.
Today, right?
To contact the treasurer collector's office for any questions at 508-378-1602.
Perfect.
That's all I have.
Thank you very much. Becca?
I do not have anything.
Okay, thank you. Charlie?
Unless I can move the Municipal Empowerment Act again, I will do that. FY27 budget update, things are not great, but they're less worse. Let's put it that way.
I mean, less worse is good.
Less worse is good.
Step in the
It
right
does not mean we suddenly have oodles of money that we can then start adding to budgets. What it does mean is that the deficit that we were looking at may not be as severe as we thought it was going to be, and there have been a couple of things that have happened. One is the Group Insurance Commission having originally talked about a 12 to 15% increase in health insurance rates, is now making changes in their plans to increase deductibles and copays, but also to eliminate the GLP-1 drugs for weight loss reasons. Diabetes and other reasons, they would still be eligible for payment, but if it was just weight loss, they would take it off the table. That should reduce the increase, it sounds weird, reduce the increase from 12 to 15 to 6 to 8, which for us is hundreds of thousands of dollars of savings. The town accountant has been working with our bond advisors and financial advisors to say, and this is based on a suggestion from Tom O'Brien, the county treasurer, think about drawing down the OPEB funds that you do have, as legally that money is there to pay for the town's share of the insurance premiums for retirees. You do not have to simply build it up and let it sit. You can use that money to pay those premiums, some of them at least. Given that we have about $2 million or so in the account right now, which is nowhere near fully funded, what Melanie is working out is what could we do with that money during the next few years, draw it down to help subsidize or pay a portion of the health insurance budget that is specifically related to the retirees. If we did that over several years, each year we would free up that much money to be used to offset the deficit or balancing the budget in all the other categories. So that again would be hundreds of thousands of dollars. The combination of that will not offset the entire deficit. What it means, however, is instead of looking at a 2% cut, we might be looking at a 1 or something even less than that. But it's not a situation where suddenly we're flush and can then go back to the departments and say, you can now get more money than you had in fiscal 26. It simply means the difference that we were asking for between 27, a lower amount, and 26, so this much, it's this much.
Mm-hmm.
So that's good, should be good news all over. Melanie should be getting more information together later this month. We're still several months away from town meeting, and we should be able to communicate that information both to the departments and to the finance committee. So this is not, a solution to our problem, but it's certainly what we would have to go through during the next year should be less severe than we thought it was going to be.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I appreciate the work that yourself and Becker and the rest of the departments are doing to try to find ways and a means to help push that out a bit and see what we can accomplish, because my fear is the same as I think both Catherine and Carol's is, the personnel and also the ability to offer the citizens some of the stuff that we've been able to do in the past that we'll be able to do now. So services, of course. So thank you.
One minor item came in after the agenda went out. We have the Community Coalition for Change. They're having the Multicultural Festival late in June.
Mm-hmm.
They asked whether they could come into town hall and use the bathrooms for changing for the performers, since it's obviously fairly awkward out there. Obviously, we have plenty of groups who get a key or a key fob from the police department, they come in, they use the building. There's always a responsible party here doing that, and then they have to return the key fob at the end of the night or whenever they're using the building, when we're not here. We don't have a town official or town employee sitting there, watching the room or watching the town hall. I don't see a reason why we can't do the same thing. They can't leave the building open, in the sense of they can't just simply open the building and let everybody walk through. Whenever they needed to do that, they'll have to have someone here at town hall watching the door, either have someone sit there for the afternoon or change people, whatever, so other people can watch. Or they'll have to come out with the performers, unlock, everybody does the changing, and then lock the building as everybody goes back. But either way, certainly doable and really not different than what we do with other groups.
No different than Kiwanis using it, when we're doing Christmas tree sales.
Right.
Yeah, I don't see any problem. They've been
Thanks.
5-6 years now. It's been
I
a
think
while,
their
but-
first year was it 2020?
Is it that far back? Yeah, maybe.
Or maybe
5 or 6.
2021, I think it was the year after, I think 2020,
22?
22.
Yeah, it was right around. I know it's been 3 or 4 or 5.
I mean, I don't know if, I know
Yeah, that makes sense, no,
Yeah.
that's right.
it's their
Because
fifth-
2020, we weren't doing anything.
No.
I think it's their
So I
fifth
think
one.
2021 was the protest, because that was after George Floyd died. And then I
That's
think
right.
the year after that, they decided to sort of take that momentum and turn it into an event
Yeah.
for the community.
Yeah. That's
that would
good.
be, on diversity.
Look forward to it.
and
They
stuff.
used to have that food truck me and Charlie like over there too, right, Charlie?
Yeah, some of the food's really
Yeah,
good.
very good. Yeah, I think it's fine.
It's fine.
I think it's fine too. Utilize the building like they did. Yeah, I would let them know. That's fine.
Okay, great.
Is that it?
That's it for me. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Board discussions. Got anything?
No, Rebecca and Charlie and I went to the MMA conference. I would encourage my colleagues on the board to attend next
Yes.
year.
You must have been before, no?
It's informative, and it's, lots of elected officials like us. And, I talked to Rebecca and I talked to the woman in Winthrop who was explaining why they're not in compliance, which is completely different than our situation. Just the fact that Winthrop is so small and they're just having a really hard time even finding a place to put,
Right, yeah.
these kind of.
The area, sure.
The plan.
Yeah.
So it's, things like that happen just out of the blue, like we happen to be sitting next to her at the WeMo lunch, it wasn't,
Right.
planned. And the trade show's terrific, and you get lots of free swag.
Nice.
Yeah, I definitely do want to go next
It's good,
year.
it's fun, but it's a good networking opportunity, and free headshots, right? Rebecca and I both got new headshots done.
Oh,
so-
nice.
Just wear good walking shoes.
Yes,
I'm sure it's
yeah,
huge,
the
right?
convention center is gigantic.
Yep.
It wasn't as bad this year as it was last year, because I think.
Well, we were
kind
prepared.
of- We were prepared.
Last year, we were like, how far?
Yeah, right.
Is the cart to drive us down the other end?
It's like a 15-minute walk from the front
Yep.
entrance to like where the trade show is. It's
Oh, wow.
inside the building.
Yeah, I'm
It's
sure.
like-
Yeah.
It's just huge.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's mammoth.
But
That
they have
whole
golf
area is
carts
nice
too,
too,
which
though.
is
I mean,
nice.
it's probably wasn't great for you guys with the weather.
It
being
was
what
so
but
cold,
yeah.
and I said, oh, we're gonna go out. I don't care how cold it is,
Yeah.
on Saturday afternoon when everything was, we didn't go.
No.
It was like -10 wind chill. I'm like,
Right.
nope.
No, it's
There
a
were
nice
people
area.
in the heated pool at the hotel, but
Yeah. Yeah, I like the area.
anyway, so thank you to the town for the opportunity to go. I
Yeah.
would encourage you both to go.
We will definitely take it under advisement. Your advisement. Catherine, anything?
I think the only thing that I would have to say is obviously with the headlines we know, we're getting sued with the MBTA non-compliance. I would recommend that the town reach out to the legislative delegation and let them know how many, tally up those grants, how much money you have lost over it. I know Rep. Pluff, Rep. Sullivan Almeida, and Senator Brady are all actively reviewing this because all of them have at least one town that has been affected by it. But I would recommend, definitely. Exactly. At least one. I think Brady's got Halifax. Maybe he does, but I
I
don't know.
think Bray may have help.
Yeah. But I definitely would say reaching out to them, just give them, how many of the grants that not only have you not applied to because you're not eligible. And then another recommendation I think I would make is just the response that you get from the Commonwealth on the grants when we don't receive them, I would probably document those responses as well. Obviously, I condemn the actions of the Attorney General and the Governor on that, but that's my own personal opinion. But that's the only update that I have, I guess.
Okay, yeah, it's smart to keep everybody in the loop, for sure. Appreciate that.
What you got?
I got just the ongoing project on Route 18. Me and Charlie are sitting in on a meeting with the band, as I call them, right? The Band of Brothers, on Wednesday. So we'll have some information past them, but it continues to move forward, and we continue to work and negotiate the area. So we do have a meeting Wednesday to gather more information, and we'll certainly pass that on to you guys as soon as we get it. That's it. That's all I got. All right. It looks like we're going into executive session, right? Okay, so let me read my cheat sheet here. Let's see, I move that East Bridgewater Select Board go into executive session for the following reasons. Pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 38, Section 21A3, to discuss strategy with respect to collective bargaining or litigation, and if an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the bargaining or litigation position of the public body, and the chair so declares. Firefighters, superior officers, clerical patrol officers. Pursuant to Mass General Law 30A, Section 21A9, to discuss strategy with respect to collective bargaining or litigation, as the chair has determined that an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the town's litigation position in the matter of involving Commonwealth of Massachusetts versus Town of East Bridgewater, MBTA Community Zoning Statute, and that the Select Board will not reconvene in open session at the end of the executive session. Confirmed by me, Chair Peter Spigone, seconded by
Carol Julius, Vice Chair.
Vice Chair. And discussion on that? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, I declare that having an open meeting or collective bargaining contract negotiations and litigation may have detrimental effect on the bargaining or litigation position of the Select Board. Confirmed by me, Chair Peter Spigone. We'll do a roll call. Oh, actually, any discussion on that? Seeing none, let's do a roll call. Aye, Peter Spigone.
Aye, Carol Julius.
All right, Catherine Mullen.
That's it. Thank you and good night.
Happy Groundhog Day.
Is that today?
You saw his shirt?